The most common fires in a household start usually in the kitchen. It's usually a stove fire. One mistake that's usually taken in this instance is pouring water onto that oil, and that actually causes a violent reaction. What's preferred is that the homeowner dampen a moist cloth and put the cloth over top of that pot, or take the lid and slide it from the handle, slide it across the pot to cover the fire. And that's very important in that situation. From there, it's always important to contact the fire department and let them know. Have them inspect the area to ensure that it's safe following. Just because you think that you've put out a fire doesn't mean that the fire is completely out. When you have a fire in a building, heat rises and the heat starts at the top of the room and over time banks down. So the coolest part of the room is at the lower section of the room, and that's where you want to stay. That's your safest spot away from smoke and heat. One of the basic items that are taught to children, and one that families understand and know that's very important, is stop, drop, and roll. One thing that has to be considered when you do a stop, drop, and roll is the first action, and that's to cover your face, to protect your face. And with that, you should stay as low as possible. So if you're in bed, rather than sitting upright and getting out of bed, then down to the floor, you should roll from the bed onto the floor and stay as low as possible. Stop, drop, and roll is the first rule of safety for anyone of all ages. Determine the best route of escape in a fire, and always make sure that you have two ways out. So in this, that second way out may be your second story window. So consider buying proper laddering or something that will enable you to escape that second level. Other things that should be looked into is inspecting your smoke alarms on a regular basis. That is the first line of safety, is your smoke alarm in your home. So you should, at least twice a year, check the batteries, change out the batteries, and ensure that it's in operable condition. When purchasing a new home, is the amount of rooms and the size of the rooms in the building. That being, the smaller room will contain a fire to a smaller area. Open concept does promote fire spread. So consider compartmentalization, consider smaller rooms that separate fire areas. When consumers are purchasing a new residence, rather than focusing on items that are disposable in the house that can be replaced, they should focus on items that are permanent to the building and the attributes to the building that they would like to see and live with in the long term. I would like consumers to consider types of brick, block, or stone as an option when purchasing a building.